So we're going to get started with our lunch and learn with Dr. Rita. In fact, that's me, Dr. Rita McGuire. You can just call me Dr. Rita. And we're going to get started. I want to welcome all of our business partners. I want to welcome all of our guests. I am a mother of 3 amazing adult children now. Yay! So I'm an empty nester. My oldest is 29, Jacob. My middle child, Joshua, is 24. My baby girl is Hannah. And I am just such a proud mom of all 3. I'm an obstetrician gynecologist as well. I've been practicing for over 30 years. Hard to believe. I'm still a practicing physician doing hysterectomies and C-sections. I've converted many of my gynae procedures to cosmetic surgery. So I do tummy tucks and liposuctions. But 3 years ago, I was introduced to the cannabis industry. And I'm telling you, as an obstetrician gynecologist, I had no idea that I would be an advocate, a very passionate physician about this plant. In fact, I was asked to testify in front of the Judiciary Committee here in Illinois for the legalization and taxation of adult use cannabis. Yes, I am here. The governor asked for me to testify. It was such an honor and a pleasure. And of course, my 3 children think I'm the coolest mom ever. But seriously, when I did my due diligence and I really did my research and I really started to dig deep about the medicinal property of this plant, when I was seeing so many of my patients looking for alternatives to their health, I was on board. And just seeing hundreds and hundreds in my last 3 years, thousands now of patients who have improved their quality of life because of this plant. So I went from a physician reading a lot of these magazines and publications that our college of OB-GYN puts out to now this. Yes, cannabis is mainstream. And this is my call room at the hospital where I'm frequently found reading a lot of information about medical marijuana, recreational marijuana, hemp, CBD, and you can see even women want to know more about how cannabis can improve their life as well. So let's talk about Dr. Sanjay Gupta, because Dr. Sanjay Gupta really is one of the main reasons that cannabis is mainstream. In 2013, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, who was adamantly opposed to this cannabis plant, you know what he said? He said, we were systematically misled. He said, I didn't dig deep enough. I didn't dig far enough in the research. I didn't talk to enough patients that were using cannabis for medicinal purposes to figure out that this plant has hundreds of properties that can improve our health. And so Dr. Sanjay Gupta really is the reason why cannabis started to become mainstream, despite the fact that even during prohibition time, we have a negative stigma about this plant. But just know that the solution has always been in the ground. In fact, there are Bible verses from Genesis all the way to Revelations that speak about this herb, this plant for healing. In the Bible, you'll see mention of cannabis being used to anoint the priests. They called it cannabism. You'll see in many of the verses in the Bible how it talks about the leaves and the tree were for healing of nations. So let's look at the anatomy of the plant. That's really important to understand which part of the plant gives us the medicinal properties. So let's start with the leaves. Well, we see here the fan leaves. Those are the larger leaves. They're most widely recognized, but they're least potent. They're generally not used for medicinal purposes. But it's the sugar leaves, these small leaves that are by the flower and the buds of the plant. These are useful for extraction. So we use this part, the sugar leaves, for our extraction of oils and etc. Now the stem is not very potent. The stem is mostly used for industrial uses when we start to make clothes and plant, paint. We're using a lot of hempcrete. Yeah, we're making concrete out of part of the cannabis plant for our homes. But the most potent part of the plant is the flower and the buds, as you see here. The flower and the buds are most potent. They're used for smoking, vaping, extracting oils. But my favorite part, I think, of the plant are these little trichomes. I had to blow up the area. They're so small. But trichomes produce terpenes. And terpenes are what gives the plant its aroma. It also provides medicinal properties to reduce inflammation, reduce anxiety, improve your mood, improve your pain. But it's the terpenes are what gives it its woody, musty, piney sort of smell. In fact, alpha pinene is one of the terpenes that is very instrumental in the treatment of asthma, of pain, of ulcers, anxiety, and even cancer. Alpha pinene is not only found in pine needles, but rosemary, basil, parsley, and dill. So it gives the plant its pine aroma, but also has medicinal properties as well. When we look at the cannabis industry and the cannabis plant during slavery, we know that cannabis was cultivated, cared for, and harvested by slaves. In fact, the American hemp industry was born in Kentucky. It was built on the forced labor of West African slaves who grew hemp seeds that were brought over by their Virginian slave masters. In fact, Kentucky became the biggest producer of hemp. They also had the largest populations of slaves, and this maintained for nearly a century until the Civil War forced a decline in demand. So when we look at the negative stigma, when you say the word cannabis, it's negative, right? People think that you're referring to dope or reefer or marijuana. It has a negative stigma from different origins of cultures, be it African American, Caribbean, or even Mexican. In fact, the word marijuana emphasizes the Mexicanness of the drug. The root, again, from the cannabis stigma really refers back to prohibition. See, a gentleman by the name of Harry Anslinger led the charge to start the racist and xenophobic connotation as it related to cannabis. See, back in the 30s, farmers who were growing trees to make paper, the DuPonts who were making paint and clothes, they were in competition with the farmers who were growing hemp. They knew that they could be put out of business. So the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937 was passed, which put large taxes, not only on physicians that wanted to recommend cannabis-based medicine, but on patients who wanted to use cannabis-based medicine. See, cannabis-based medicine was produced by large pharmaceutical companies that we know today, like Park Davis and Eli Lilly and Pfizer. They all made cannabis-based medicine for 60 years prior to prohibition. But it wasn't until the 1970s that President Nixon put a war on drugs, which legally put cannabis as a Scheduled I drug. He also developed the Department of the DEA of Drug Administration. And since then, we truly have lost out on the health benefit of this plant. So let's look at the difference between hemp versus marijuana. See, 3 years ago, I didn't know what CBD was. I had never heard of it. I had heard of marijuana and cannabis, but that was about it. They don't teach anything about cannabis in medical school, so I didn't learn anything there. But all I knew was that if I smelled marijuana in my house, I was after my 3 children, right? I was one of those moms, not knowing the medicinal properties of this plant. So cannabis is the family, okay? So think of cannabis as a family, and it has 2 species. One species is marijuana, and the other species is hemp. Now, the 2 most common compounds that the cannabis plant makes is THC and CBD. Though the plant today has been found to make over 100 plus cannabinoids, it's really the THC and the CBD that we are more familiar with. So THC is the part of the plant that gives us the high, it gives us the euphoria, it gives us the paranoia, right? We may start seeing deer in our garage. But it's CBD that does not have the psychoactive part. It doesn't have the high. It doesn't get you paranoid. It gives you that calm overall feeling. So though THC and CBD can both come from marijuana, THC and CBD can also come from hemp. And the difference is in marijuana, contains large amounts of THC and very trace amounts of CBD. So that's why marijuana gets you high. But hemp, on the other side, has trace amounts of THC and large amounts of CBD. So we refer to hemp as the species that comes from the cannabis plant that gives us the health without the high. And that's what's so important, that you understand that there is a part of the cannabis plant that does not get you high. It doesn't give you paranoid. It doesn't give you a euphoria. It gives you the health benefits that so many Americans are looking for without the high. So CBD is an abbreviation for cannabidiol. And again, it is the second most common compound. I'm gonna mute making some noise there. Thank you so much. CBD stands for cannabidiol. It's the second most common cannabinoid found in the cannabis plant. Again, unlike THC, it does not get you high. It gives you the health benefits without the high. In fact, I've been using CBD in my practice for the last 3 years in conjunction.
Yeah, it is. And they give it to the kids, you know, when.
Okay, Vicky, please be careful with your phone. We hear your entire conversation. I've been using CBD in my practice for the last 3 years in conjunction with various forms, traditional forms of medications. Why? Because patients are looking for alternatives to their health. They're looking for alternatives to improve the quality of their life. So what makes CBD legal? What makes the hemp plant legal? Well, after 80 years in 2018, the Farm Bill was passed. Now, this is an Agriculture Improvement Act bill, but it removed hemp from being a controlled substance. See, hemp was a Schedule I drug. A Schedule I drug is a drug that has a high addictive potential. It also has no medicinal properties, and it is deemed severely a concern for safety. So after 80 years plus, hemp has now been removed from the Schedule I listing and is legal to be grown, imported, sold, and consumed in all 50 states, as long as it comes from the hemp species by definition, which contains 0.3% or less of THC. So that's what makes the product legal. And what's really exciting is that there are universities and research areas in the United States that are finally able to do research on humans as it relates to CBD. In fact, UC San Diego is doing research on using CBD in the treatment of early psychosis. They're also using CBD as a response to rheumatoid arthritis. They're using CBD and looking at the management of insomnia in adults. They're looking at CBD as a strategy to treat alcohol dependency. They're looking at CBD and its role in regulating mealtime anxiety in those who have eating disorders like anorexia nervosa. They're looking at CBD in children who have autism and ADHD. They're looking at folks who have multiple sclerosis and CBD. So it's a really exciting time to understand that there is scientific research projects going on currently. Because before that time, with hemp being a controlled substance like marijuana is today, there is no possible way for research to be done on adults. So if you want to look at long-term research on adults, you'll have to go and look at all of the research that has been done in Israel. In fact, in Israel, they've been researching cannabis since the 1960s. One of the scientists in Israel, Raphael Mechoulam, actually discovered THC. So they have a lot of studies that have been done on humans. So let's look at the medicinal benefits of CBD. You may ask, what does CBD do? Well, there's over 20,000 peer review articles that show the medicinal benefits of CBD. Now, a lot of these articles, like I said, are anecdotal information, meaning that they've done the studies on rats, they've done the studies on piglets, and they have shown that CBD helps to relieve pain. It helps to relieve anxiety. How many of us right now have a lot of anxiety, right? From the pandemic to the social unrest that's going on. CBD has been shown to reduce inflammation. And that's really important because we understand that chronic disease entities like obesity, diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, lupus, fibromyalgia, arthritis, all stem from inflammation in our body. CBD has also been shown through research to relieve psychosis, to help stimulate the appetite in those who may be HIV/AIDS positive, reduce nausea in those who may be undergoing chemotherapy, reduces seizure and convulsions. In fact, a little girl by the name of Charlotte Fiji is one of the reasons why Dr. Sanjay Gupta came out and made that public apology. This was a little girl that has something called Dravet syndrome, a syndrome where they have 300 seizures to 500 seizures a week. And it wasn't until Charlotte's parents introduced her to the cannabis plant, she went from having 300 seizures to 3 seizures a week. And unfortunately, Charlotte Fiji just passed away due to complications to the COVID-19 virus. CBD also prevents nervous system degeneration, neurodegenerative disorders like Parkinson's, like Alzheimer's, even stroke victims. CBD has been shown to improve the damage that's done to the nerves in those conditions. CBD also helps to suppress muscle spasms in those who have multiple sclerosis, manage blood sugar, treat psoriasis and other skin conditions like eczema and acne and even aging. It inhibits cancer cell growth, which means that it will inhibit the cells from metastasizing. It can help to reduce the risk of arterial blockage. Those who have high cholesterol may have coronary artery disease. It helps to increase bone growth and kill or slow bacterial growth. And you may be asking, Dr. Rita, how can one compound or compounds from a plant do all of that? In fact, when I first heard about CBD 3 years ago, it sounded like a snake oil. I'll be quite honest with you. It sounded like a magical potion. But what I didn't know at the time, and what I do know now, is there is science behind cannabis and how it works in our body. And that science is through the endocannabinoid system. See, the endocannabinoid system is being one of the most vital regulatory systems within the human body. It was discovered when I was at Wayne State School of Medicine in Detroit, Michigan in the early 1990s. I'm dating myself now. And this system, every single person that has a spinal cord has this system. And this system is made up of receptors, molecules, and enzymes that keep our body in balance, or what we call homeostasis. This system helps to control how we think, how we feel, how we react, our blood pressure, our blood sugar. These receptors are found all over our body. Every organ and gland, there are receptors looking for cannabis. Is that crazy? So CB1 receptors are found in the brain and the central nervous system. CB2 receptors are found in our immune system and our periphery. There are receptors that are found in our heart, our lungs, our kidneys, our liver, our eyes, our teeth, our stomach, our skin. Every single organ that is out of balance is put back in balance when we feed the endocannabinoid system. And what makes our body get out of balance? Well, let's talk about environmental stress or triggers, like the air we're breathing, the water we're drinking, the stress we're under, the sleep deprivation we're under, the processed foods we're eating, the fried foods that we're eating. All of these things cause our body to be out of balance. Inflammation starts to build up and we start to see disease. So our body produces cannabinoids just like THC and CBD. Yeah, our body produces cannabinoids or compounds just like THC and CBD. And one of the compounds is called anandamide. Anandamide is very much analogous to THC. See, it gives us the joy, the bliss, the happiness. It is found in breast milk. So if any of you remember being breastfed, you were getting a cannabinoid, just like THC, from the breast milk. In fact, it is a neurotransmitter. That means that it sends messages to the brain to make us feel happy when we feel sad. Another compound that our body produces is 2-AG. It's also found in breast milk, but it's the most abundant compound that our body makes because this one is responsible for appetite control, our immune system function, our pain management, our circulatory system, seizure suppression. So this endocannabinoid is very, very important, as well as anandamide is. So the number one reason that folks look to take and use CBD is for pain. That's the number one reason. See, many of us on the line, we're used to taking acetaminophen or Tylenol, or maybe we'll take Motrin, Aleve, or ibuprofen. And we know long-term, as physicians, we know long-term that even taking these over-the-counter medications can cause what? Long-term liver and long-term kidney dysfunction and failure. So we are now excited because CBD is being used in all areas of healthcare and wellness. Even dentists understand that CBD is beneficial. Why? Because CBD helps to decrease anxiety. We talked about that. So many people hate, including me, going to the dentist, right? CBD can improve their sleep quality. It can help relieve pain, and it can also minimize GI upset. Because many of us, when we have a toothache, we run and take Motrin or Aleve, or maybe we'll take Tylenol. And that constant chronic use can cause GI upset and even ulcers. CBD has also been studied and been shown to help with periodontal gum disease. Why? Because CBD not only addresses inflammation, but it also addresses bacterial infection. So many benefits, even when we think about our skin, even when we think about getting a massage, all areas of the industry and health and wellness is now looking at CBD. We know that CBD can interact with those skin receptors we talked about. There are receptors in every single part of our body, every gland and organ, and even reducing inflammation in the skin, increasing the immune within those Langerhans cells of the skin, improves skin inflammation, improves aging wrinkles, improves psoriasis, eczema, and acne. So those are all of the things that you can find. Even research is being done on CBD and how it's now causing cells of the skin, cancer cells of the skin, from metastasizing. Long-term use of CBD is another question I get asked. Human studies are considered the best level of evidence for safety and efficacy. And so far, the studies show that long-term use of CBD not only is safe and effective, but even tolerated up to large doses of 1,500 milligrams per day. And typically, most people don't need 1,500 milligrams of CBD a day. Some need much, much less. Maybe there may be a small percentage of someone that needs that much, but just know even the Mayo Clinic did a study, and they studied folks that have severe chronic pain. And those people needed anywhere from 2.5 to maybe 50 milligrams of CBD to address their severe chronic pain. And that's out of the Mayo Clinic. So we're going to get into some of our products. The FDA does not approve any of these statements. They don't approve of these products. We can't make claims. It's not an FDA approved medication. There's only one FDA CBD approved medication called Epidiolex, which is used for seizure disorders in children. So if you're pregnant, nursing, on medication, please consult with your physician before using or taking any cannabis products. So a little bit about the Wakanna movement, our story, our co-founders, what makes Wakanna products different, our movement, our culture. I want to introduce you to the 4 co-founders of Wakanna. We believe that the key to freedom is business ownership. So last year, April 20th, Wakanna was launched. And our CEO, Melissa Boston, who you see here on the far left, she is the visionary behind Wakanna. She brings over 29 years of direct sales experience to our company and over 16 years in corporate America. In fact, she fired her boss at the age of 32.5 years old. This woman has built businesses in over 40 countries. She's trained over 50,000 distributors, and she is the visionary behind Wakanna. She's an author, she's a social media strategist, she is our CEO. And then myself, Dr. Rita McGuire, I'm the Chief Medical Officer here at Wakanna. I'm an obstetrician gynecologist for over 30 years. And then our president, Senator Patricia Van Pelt, is a state senator here, right here in Illinois, serving her 3rd term. Also a businesswoman, an evangelist, an author. And then our chief sales officer, Phyllis Nash, our fabulous Phyllis Nash, brings to us over 30 years experience, not only in the restaurant industry, the liquor industry, but also the real estate industry. But more importantly, all 4 of us have worked in the cannabis industry since 2017. We are experts, we are pioneers, we are the only minority female-owned CBD company in the state of Illinois. So we are excited to bring to you our product line. Our product line, we have 2 product lines. We have a power line. Our power line is considered our full spectrum CBD products. That means we've used the whole plant. We've used the legal limit of THC, which is 0.3% or less. Our products are extracted organically from the hemp species. And then we have our pure line. Our pure line is our broad spectrum line. It's our line that contains less than 0.0% of THC. It is the line for those who have random drug screens at their job. So we have something for everyone. We're going to go through a couple of our products. We have tinctures, topicals, we have CBD joints and cartridges, we have gummies. and we have spices and lots of products for those who love to cook. We also offer certificates of analysis. Certificates of analysis are crucial in this CBD industry. See, in 2018, when the Farm Bill was passed, what happened? We saw CBD products pop up everywhere. We saw folks making CBD in their basement, in their garage. We found CBD products at the gas station, at smoke shops. They even sell CBD products at video stores here in Chicago. But not all CBD is made equally. It's important to understand that when you take a bottle of our product, that you understand what we say is in the bottle is really in the bottle. All the way from the potency, the amount of milligrams that are in the bottle, and also we provide a full panel, which means we provide information to ensure there's no mold, mildew, heavy metals, pesticides that can harm you. So let's look at our tinctures. Tinctures are products that you place underneath the tongue. You hold that tincture underneath the tongue for 30 or 60 seconds before you swallow. That ensures that the oil is really getting into your bloodstream. So our very first product we're going to talk about is our 750 milligram Hempranium MD. It is our most potent product. It is a product that will address more severe situations that you may want to address. I always recommend when you start CBD initially, you start low and you start slow. So starting with 3 drops in the morning and 3 drops in the evening is a really great way to introduce CBD into your bloodstream. Our second product is our Hempranium 500 milligrams. Now this is our product that has a proprietary formulation, which includes not only 500 milligrams of CBD in the entire bottle, but it includes 3 USDA organic certified essential oils. The oils that we use to enhance this particular product is black seed. See, black seed has been shown in research to rebuild the beta cells of the pancreas. Those are cells that produce insulin. Those are cells that become resistant to producing insulin because of inflammation due to either type 1 or type 2 diabetes. We also use turmeric. Turmeric is an amazing herb, right? So many of us already know about turmeric or maybe use turmeric, but it also has anti-inflammatory, antioxidative properties. It helps with memory, it helps with the heart, just so many medicinal benefits. And then we top it off with a little peppermint, another essential oil that actually helps to improve not only the taste, but helps with digestion. Our Pure Nano is our tincture that we use for those who have random drug screens. Now, we've enhanced this particular product not only with the 3 USDA organic essential oils, black seed, turmeric, and peppermint, but we have a special delivery system. It's called nanotechnology. Many of you may have heard the word nanotechnology. They do use it a lot in chemotherapy to improve the availability of a drug to get to the bloodstream. Well, we've used it with our CBD. It helps to improve the bioavailability to 98.7%. So the nanotechnology is a delivery system. It allows the CBD molecule to become more water soluble, so it becomes more available to the cells. And then we have topical products. Our topical products are products that we use for local relief. On the far left, we have our liquid topical product, our Power Liquid Relief, or Dr. Rita's Rub. It's a product that I use every single day, at least twice a day. I use it at night so I can sleep, so that right knee and left shoulder and lower back is not causing discomfort when I'm trying to sleep. And I also use it before my workout so I can have the best workout without feeling sore. We also have a topical in a cream form, which is our Power Relief 200 milligram at the top and our Power Relief 500 milligrams at the bottom. Now, the difference between all three of these products, outside of one being an oil and liquid and the other two being a cream, is the way that they're formulated. So the liquid one is formulated with 19 organic USDA essential oils. So you can imagine 19 essential oils that are also enhancing the CBD's anti-inflammatory properties. The one at the top has 8 organic USDA essential oils that help to formulate and enhance the CBD properties. And then the bottom 500 milligrams has 6 USDA essential oils, again addressing anti-inflammatory properties of CBD. Now, all three of these products contain the legal limit of THC, but because they're topical, they don't pass the blood-brain barrier. What that means is that you can safely use topicals because they do not pass into the urine. So if you have random drug screens, you absolutely can use our topicals. And then our gummies. Our gummies we have in our power formulation and our pure formulation. Our gummies are vegan, they're non-GMO. Our gummies are infused, they're not coated. That means that the CBD is just not on the outside, it's within the entire gummy. So our power gummies are 25 milligrams of CBD. I recommend that you start with half of a gummy, and about 30 to 45 minutes later, if you need another, then use another. Starting low and slow is very important. I use a gummy every night to help me sleep. We also have our pure gummies, which contain less than 0.0% of THC. That's the gummy, if you have random drug screens, that you're going to want to take to help you with not only sleep or maybe any other issues that it relates to the CBD benefits, pain, inflammation, anxiety. But again, each one of these gummies contain 20 milligrams of CBD. Start low and slow with half a gummy, and then about 30 to 45 minutes,
Hello?
another. Yes, we're going to mute you out here. And so gummies are great to use to help you sleep. And again, it's through the endocannabinoid system, working to release more dopamine and serotonin from the brain to help you get into that REM sleep. And then our CBD joints and carts. Our cartridges and CBD pre-rolls are an amazing way to have an acute relief of symptoms that you may have due to different disorders or concerns. Our CBD joint is 106 milligrams of CBD in the entire joint, so you don't need to smoke the entire joint in one sitting. No one needs that much CBD at one time. 1 to 3 pulls is enough if you want to address issues like acute onset of symptoms due to migraines, or maybe an acute onset due to symptoms due to anxiety. And then we have our cartridges. Comes in Raspberry Jane and our Hypnotic cartridge. These 2 cartridges, again, onset of action is within 1 to 5 minutes. So when you're dealing with an acute issue, 1 to 3 pulls is all you'll need. Now you may have a question about cartridges. You've heard several people last year died from using cartridges and e-cigarettes. And what the FDA found was that those cartridges that they tested of folks who passed away were black market products. They were products that the person didn't know where the source was coming from. They found fentanyl in those products. They found rat poison in those products. They found vitamin E as a filler in those products. Vitamin E, when you vape or heat it, it becomes toxic to the lung. So unfortunately, that is the reason why we had so many mortalities and morbidities last year from those black market cartridges and vape and e-cigarettes. Our products, again, are organic. They are third-party tested. They are very safe and effective, especially when you need that acute relief. I've also witnessed and have testimonies of folks who smoke cigarettes, and each time they had a craving for a cigarette, they used our CBD joint. It took the craving away. How does it do that? Again, through the endocannabinoid system. There's real science behind how CBD works in the brain. It helps to block that craving. It helps to block the reward center of nicotine. And it really helps those who are coming with withdrawal symptoms as well to be successful in coming off of things like nicotine, heroin, and even marijuana. So our CBD culinary line is amazing. These spices, again, are infused with 200 milligrams of CBD. We have garlic fire, Flavor King, chili lime. I love the chili lime on my boiled eggs. Oh my goodness. I made an omelet this morning and used the garlic fire and chili lime. Just another way to get CBD into your system. Then we have a water soluble. Our Power Water Soluble is a great product. You can infuse your water, your juice, your smoothie, your food, whatever you're eating or drinking. You can easily put the drops, 3 drops in the morning, 3 drops in the evening. I always recommend start low and slow. You can always go higher, but start low and slow when you're introducing CBD into your system. Then we have our Culinary Plus product. That's a product you can bake with, you can cook with. You know, we're hoping you're not out there eating lots of cookies and brownies, but absolutely it is an opportunity for you to, one second. I'm on Facebook Live, so let's share my screen again. Absolutely, you can have a lot of fun in the kitchen when you're cooking with our products. We also have a CBD culinary oil that you can use to marinate, add to your salad dressings, but just know that we have a line of those who love to be in the kitchen. So you can become a Wakanna chef. We have recipes. You can be a Wakanna bud tender and infuse your mocktails and cocktails with CBD water soluble. And we also have products that will help to address the host. You know, I always say every single week, we cannot control this virus, but what we can control is we can control our host. We can control what our immune system can be, which is the strongest it can be if it is faced with this virus, COVID-19. We can't make any claims that CBD or any of our essential oils can cure, mitigate any disease. But what we can say is that if ever there was a time to get your body and your health together, now is the time during this pandemic. It's not getting any better. So we have an essential defense. We have a first defense. We have a product that has 500 milligrams of CBD along with 6 to 8 USDA certified essential oils. That is a nasal spray that can be used so effectively for those who have issues during this time. And so we offer for our customers, for those who want to use and try our products, we offer packages. You know, 7/10 was another cannabis holiday. 7/10 is National Cannabis Oil Day or DAB Day. So we have several packages where you get a savings of more than $100 up to $120. So our 7/10 Power Essential Pack comes with those products we talked about, those gummies, those tinctures, the pre-rolls, the water soluble, and even the topical pain relief that are Power products. We have a whole package for those who have random drug screens. You'll need that pure package, saving over $100. And then our variety package, which gives you a variety of Power and pure products, saving over $115. Even our defense pack for those who love essential oils, they love the immune defense tea. We have a tea to help and boost those adaptogens, to help boost that immune system so it can be the strongest. Our first defense, our essential defense, saving over $140 in that package. So I'm going to pause and take questions But just know that typically there are 3 type of people after these lunch and learns. You know, our whole intention is really to help you get past the stigma. Hopefully you've learned that there are 2 species that the cannabis plant has. One is the marijuana species that gives you the high, and one is the hemp species that gives you all the health benefits without the high. And that's what we learned today, that our CBD products come from the hemp species, the health without the high. So if you're person number 1, you're that customer. You want to try our products. You're excited now that you know more and that negative stigma is less. You're that person number 1. Person number 2, you still have questions. You know, Dr. Rita, I still don't understand a little bit. I need more information. So I'm going to open the line for questions. And then person number 3, you know what? You've heard about the cannabis industry. You've heard about how explosive it is and how it is going to be the next wealth creating industry, the cannabis industry. And you want to know more about the opportunity. So you're going to stay on the line after our questions to hear about our opportunity. So I'm going to stop sharing, and you can either unmute yourself or you can use the chat box to put your questions in. One question is about hot flashes. Great, great question. So hot flashes can be debilitating. Take it from not only an obstetrician gynecologist, but someone who is menopausal. Yes, I'm menopausal. CBD can address symptoms due to menopause. We can never make any claims that CBD cures any disease, but what we can say is that CBD can address the symptoms of menopause. One symptom of menopause is insomnia. Insomnia because half the night we have these hot flashes. It feels like we're in an oven and we can't sleep. So CBD comes in, again, the endocannabinoid system has receptors in the brain and the central nervous system, and it comes in and allows the serotonin and the dopamine that our brain produces, those other neurotransmitters, to be released to help us sleep, to improve our mood, because another symptom of menopause are mood swings, right? We can be kind of irritable and crazy. So it helps improve our mood. It also helps to improve the bone growth. In a menopause, we have a lack of estrogen. A lack of estrogen is needed. It's needed for healthy bones and to avoid osteoporosis. CBD has also been found in the literature to help with vaginal lubrication. In menopause, one of the symptoms is vaginal dryness. We need estrogen in our vagina to lubricate during intercourse. So we have a product that actually addresses vaginal dryness due to menopause, due to a loss of libido. So CBD has been studied with improving our quality of life for us menopausal women, improving our quality of life and improving symptoms that are due to menopause. So hopefully I answered your question. Maggie, I did email you a article, and you can do that. Do your due diligence. If you're on the line, if you're on Facebook Live, do your due diligence by using your favorite search engine and whatever you want to know about CBD and how it can improve your condition. You absolutely can find all of the studies. Also, she states she can't take meds for hot flashes because her mom had breast cancer and her doctor says meds will increase her cancer risk. So CBD doesn't have any estrogen components to it. It doesn't have any soy or byproducts for those who have maybe estrogen dependent breast cancer. So yes, this is something we absolutely can share with your guests as it relates to using our products for symptoms that are due to menopause. Can you provide more information on how it helps with anxiety? Yes, so CBD again helps with anxiety by binding to receptors in our brain, serotonin and dopamine receptors in our brain to improve mood. Serotonin and dopamine are neurotransmitters that our brain produces. And when we become deficient in those neurotransmitters, we become depressed, we become sad, we become anxious. It's something called the clinical endocannabinoid deficiency syndrome. You may want to join my webinar tomorrow night because the physician who discovered the clinical endocannabinoid deficiency will be on my webinar. But the reason they found that supplementing those who have anxiety, supplementing those who have depression with CBD and other cannabinoids was that those people who have anxiety and depression have a small amount of anandamide. And anandamide, we talked about earlier, is that neurotransmitter that our body produces naturally. It's found in breast milk. That's why breastfed babies are so happy, right? Because they're getting that anandamide. Same holds true here. Anandamide is very much analogous to THC. So when we give our body the products, the receptors in the brain are now able to release not only our endogenous cannabinoid like anandamide, but also able to release more dopamine and serotonin to improve our anxiety. So great, great questions. Any more questions before we move on? Again, if you're on the line, you're a guest, please, please connect with the person who invited you to get those products ordered. If you're interested in the opportunity that we have here at Wakanna, then you can stay on the line. If not, we invite you to join us tonight for a business overview, or you can also join us tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. So let's see if I can share my screen here. And you can continue asking questions as well. Let's see. Great. So what is the big deal about cannabis? You heard me speak earlier, and I said that cannabis is going to be the next wealth creating industry that we're going to see in our lifetime. Well, the big deal is the explosive growth. So when we look at the projected North American legal sales of cannabis, we're looking at an industry in 2015 that was $202 million in revenue that's going to exceed $22 billion in the next 2 years. So the explosive growth is the big deal about cannabis, along with the health benefits that we talked about earlier. So the 4 co-founders here at Wakanna, again, believe that the key to freedom is business ownership. So what makes Wakanna different? Well, we are a hybrid of a network or multi-level marketing company and a micro franchise. We are not a traditional network marketing company. A traditional network marketing company typically has business startup fees. They charge you for your website. They require auto ships. They pay down to infinity. They make you balance legs. There's a lot of quotas. But here at Wakanna, our business model is willable. Is that exciting? That you can will this business to your legacy. We have the customer support. We have a shared revenue pool that we're going to talk about. You know, being your own boss means you can spend more time with family. We have a balanced compensation plan, and we have unlimited income potential. I'm telling you, we have a recession-proof business model, right? We've had the best months since the pandemic started. In fact, we're a home-based business, so you can do your business just like I'm doing my business from the comforts of my own home on my laptop. And you know, when we think about the dispensary business, it's huge. You know, we think of brick and mortar. We think of, you know, people standing in long lines waiting to get their cannabis product. But what you don't know is the amount of money that it takes to get into the cannabis industry. More than $1 million. That's being very conservative. And on the cannabis or marijuana side, it's highly regulated. It's really, really difficult to get in. So we invite you to look at our business model. There's 7 ways to earn income here at Wakanna. And again, one way, which is very easy, is through your online dispensary. So we offer an online dispensary so you're able to earn money without holding any inventory. Each time your customer comes to your website, you earn between 20 and 50% commission. All of your customers, and even you, get free shipping with orders over $50 during this pandemic. We're offering that. And your customers and you as well are getting affordable, natural, organic products that are third-party tested. We have the opportunity for you to take a 30-day free test drive. Yes, for you to have your own online CBD dispensary for 30 days for free, as long as within those 30 days, in order to continue to get commissions, that you get certified through our Wakanna University. Yes, we have a Wakanna University that's an online university that you come for all your cannabis education. And so when we look at the ways to come into the business, one way is through our full crown jewel dispensary. Our full crown jewel dispensary is $998. What does that include? It includes $1,500 worth of products that you can retail. It comes with a broker key activation, and it comes with 2 Wakanna University vouchers to our Wakanna University. It allows you to advance to our level of Sapphire for the next 6 months. And each time that you sell one of these full crown jewel dispensaries for $998, our company pays you $200. You may ask, what is a broker key activation? A broker key activation is the ability for you to give away as many free 30-day test drive online dispensaries as you like. Each time you give away a free 30-day free test drive online dispensary, you as a broker get to make overrides on all of those sales. The Wakanna University vouchers, you get 2. One you're going to use to get your information and your training about how the products are used, how to dose the products, how to infuse with the products. You'll learn about the cannabis companies you may want to invest in. You'll learn about mindset. You'll learn about how to brand and market your business on social media platforms. And you get 2 of those. One you can bless someone with, one you can sell for $199. That is the value of that, as well as, you know, just being a blessing to someone that you want to gift that to. So this full crown jewel dispensary values at $2,000 and it's $998. You can break that payment into 2, half down now and half down in 30 days. And then we have our starter packs. This is another great way to lock arms with us as a business partner here at Wakanna. Our Millennial Pack and our Stimulus Pack, both value at $500. It includes, it's $199 your cost, but it includes $200 worth of retail products. Products you can start taking, products that you can start sharing, or even products you can sell. It also comes with that broker master key activation. It also comes with 1 Wakanna University admission. You're able to sell these, and each time you sell these, you earn $40 as the sponsor. And again, our Wakanna University is the platform and the process that we use to educate our business partners. You'll learn social media marketing. You'll learn how to build a customer base. You'll learn how to infuse and make money in edibles. Again, you'll learn about cannabis investing. I'll teach you everything about CBD that you want to know. And more importantly, you'll learn about compliance. You'll learn about how to share in a compliant manner, how to educate your customer, how to educate a prospect that may be a business partner. You'll learn about the compensation. All of these things are very, very important. So when we look at our shared wealth pool, our shared wealth pool means just what it says. We share every month part of the revenue with our leaders here at Wakanna. So our leaders or benchmarks start at Sapphire Dispensary. A Sapphire Dispensary is a dispensary that in one calendar month has $10,000 in revenue that they have produced. Our Ruby Dispensary is $25,000 in one calendar month that they've done in revenue. And an Emerald Dispensary is $50,000 in revenue that they've done in one calendar month. Now, the revenue cannot just be the efforts of your work. The revenue needs to come from at least 2 or more business partners that have come in and done $10,000 in revenue collectively to be a Sapphire Dispensary, or $25,000 collectively as a Ruby Dispensary, and $50,000 collectively as a Emerald Dispensary. Now we'll move on to our next leaders in our company. We're our 1-star diamonds all the way up to 5-star diamonds. Our 1-star diamonds have done $100,000 in sales in one calendar month, all the way up to a 5-star diamond that has done $1 million in sales in one calendar month. Again, the efforts of 1-star diamond all the way from 5-star diamond cannot come from the efforts of just you. It has to come from the efforts of you plus 3 or more business partners. So you plus 3 or more. So what happens at the end of the month? Well, the company gives 4%. They take 4% of their revenue and they divide out the outstanding shares amongst the leaders, and they pay out those shares. 4% amongst the sapphires, rubies, emeralds, and diamonds. Now, what makes it more exciting when you hit diamond, which is $100,000 in sales in one calendar month as a 1-star diamond, you get an additional 2% of the revenue of the company at the end of the month. So diamonds get an additional 2%. So that's 6% of the revenue that is shared amongst the leaders in our company. Pretty exciting. And then we have a car allowance where we are giving all active diamonds, 1-star and above, they get $500 toward any car note that they have. No, you do not get a Mercedes-Benz, but toward any car note. And then our lifestyle reward trip to qualify to go to the motherland, South Africa, is for all those that achieve diamond status for at least 2 consecutive months to qualify for these travel points. So just an exciting way to think about the importance of having an additional stream of income, especially during this time that we have seen during this pandemic, to share with others our movement, because we're much more than a CBD company. We are a movement, and our whole vision exists to end the negative stigma. And we talked about how important these lunch and learns are to end the negative stigma so our communities can understand the health and the wealth benefit of this plant. And we also, our movement, we are the catalyst. And we're a catalyst because we actually help stir that brain to think about, well, where can I fit in this cannabis industry? You know, where can I fit in? I can be a formulator. Maybe you're out there and you like formulating things. Maybe you're an investor, or maybe you want to lock arms with us as an entrepreneur in this exciting, explosive industry of cannabis. So I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to take questions about our business. If there's anyone that has a question, you can either unmute yourself or you can put it right there in the chat. And again, whoever invited you on the call, please connect with them. Let them know if you're number one, you're a customer. Number two, if you still have questions. Or number three, you're ready to get started. You're ready to lock arms with us. You're ready to get started. You're ready to improve the health of others or maybe yourself. You're ready to take this movement with us and just share it with all that you love and care about. Any questions? Any questions on Facebook Live? We've got folks watching on Facebook Live. So right now, I'm just going to call on one of our leaders. I'm going to call on Eric Strickland or Minister Mooney or Dr. Crawford Thomas or Cora. Anyone can unmute themselves and just share with our audience, you know, why you said yes to Wakanna. Why was it important for you to be a part of this movement?
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Eric Strickland, I can hear you. Thank you.
Okay. I actually follow trends. So I was originally looking to get into on the recreational side of the business. You know, went and checked out several different investment groups, everybody looking from 5, 10 to $1 gazillion to invest in their group, and you know, no one had a license, you know, so, and no one still has a license. There's no guarantee that they were going to get a license. So I stumbled upon Wakanna purely by accident. My wife's best friend introduced me to the business, Miss Tina Chambers. I went to Barnes and Noble, did a bunch of research, and upon doing that, you know, Wakanna just seemed like a real simple way, you know, to get in, you know, my foot into the industry. But what I've quickly recognized is that the CBD side of the business is just as or more lucrative than the recreational side is going to be, because you're able to help a lot of different people out of their health issues.
Thank you so much. So such a powerful share, because like you said, and we still don't have those licenses. So on the hemp side, it really allows our community to become involved in a very, very explosive growth trending industry of cannabis without that regulation of praying and hoping after throwing $1 million to a license application if you're going to get it or not. So thank you so much, Eric, for that share. Anyone else want to share?
Let's see, turn that. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Minister Mooney. Thank you.
Hey, how's everybody?
Everyone's great. We are doing great.
Well, I'm glad Eric shared his part of the testimony, because Eric was one of the people that I called looking at trying to actually get in the industry here in Illinois. So I wasn't really looking for Wakanna, but what was so amazing was that, like Eric said, we were going around talking to so many people who had this pie in the sky type of concept of what they wanted in the industry. And no one really had anything tangible to offer but Wakanna. And not just that, what really inspired me was that, you know, seeing even though it was a small, you know, facility at the time, you know, we were side by side with the insurance office. What was so amazing was that you guys were really killing it. I mean, you had not pre-rolls at the time, it was just gummies and tinctures. Mm-hmm. But to actually see that an African-American women actually had tangible product with a whole vision and everything laid out, no red tape, no, you know, your paper receipts were better than the other paper receipts that people wanted to give us, or, you know, would not, at least you had everything laid out. it just made everything so, you know, plain and simple on how to be a toll booth in the industry and be in the middle of manufacturing, you know, and consumption, how to be that toll booth right in the middle. So I love Wakanna.
Thank you so much for that share. We love you too, Minister Mooney. We love you, Eric Strickland, leaders in our company, and truly, truly men that are taking charge and helping others to do the same. So thank you so much. So Karen Williams wants to say, thank you, Dr. Rita. My why is using a natural health solution and not getting caught in the pharmaceutical of things. Also the financial freedom to build my own business and legacy. Thank you, Karen Williams, for that share. Really, really appreciate that. And so many of us are looking for financial freedom, and so many of us are looking to improve our health, our quality of life, and that's what Wakanna can do. So I want to thank each and every one of you. If you are a guest, you want to contact the person who invited you for our business overview. Be well, be safe, and have a great rest of your afternoon.